Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's edition of HR Mentorship Learning Series. My name is Oluyemi Adeosun, and we'll be looking at a topic, negotiation for human resources. And our facilitator today, I'm so elated, excited to have someone with a wealth and depth of experience, Ngozi Stanley Obi, and I'll read our profile. Please let's listen so that we can appreciate the kind of value we have at our disposal today. Ngozi is a distinguished alumni of Lagos Business School. She graduated from the Senior Management Program SMP Class of 40. She is a fellow of CIFCA and a member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. She was honored as a new leader for tomorrow by the Crans Montana Forum in Brussels, Belgium, way back 2012. She's a certified developmental dimensional international DDI trainer and a World Institute for Action Learning coach. She has over 20 quality experience in the Nigerian banking sector, participating in numerous specialist and executive development programs locally and also overseas. During her tenure, First Bank Nigeria, she became the regional service manager for Southeast, departing in 2016, sequel to an organizational restructure. She was also the MD, Chief Executive Officer of the State Microfinance Bank, a position she held in 2017 and left 2 years later, 2019, to pursue her passion in social entrepreneurship. Currently, she is a Chief Executive Officer of BringMind Consulting Limited, empowering organizations for rapid growth through tailored training solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, she's also an author. She wrote a book, Blessings of a Job Loss, which is a non-fictional work that I know is full of wisdom and insight. I'm excited to present to us, speaking on the topic, negotiation skills for HR professional, Mrs. Ngozi Stanley Obi. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Doc. I appreciate so much. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I hope you all had a wonderful week so far. So today we are going to be doing something a little different. I know most of us, negotiation is part of what we do every day. It's part of our job. It's part of what we do every day. But in real life and also in the workplace, it's something that we can learn to do better. We can learn to do in different ways. After this lecture today, just like the first time I became certified to train on this topic, I was like, wow. So that means I can actually get what I want by making sure that person also gets what they want. So we have a roadmap of what we're going to do today. We'll start with some quotes that I know you guys will enjoy. We'll have introduction. Oh, sorry. Any questions can be put in the chat. At the end of the session, I will take the questions, please. So we'll have the introduction. We'll look at mechanisms of negotiation, understanding negotiation, preparing for negotiation, effective communication in negotiation. We move on to building trust in negotiations, handling the challenges that we see that can happen in negotiations, and then creating win-win solutions. And finally, how do we close the deal and win, right? And then we'll have a conclusion. It says just 10 modules. So we'll start by some famous quotes on negotiation. I particularly love this one. It says, negotiation is not about getting what you want. It's about getting what you need, while also making sure the other party gets what they need. The writer is unknown, but this is key. Then you have Chester L. Carras. He's a known American negotiator. He wrote a lot of books on negotiation. Actually, there's one beautiful book he wrote. It says, in business and in life, you don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. And I'm sure as HR practitioners, most of us understand exactly what he's saying with this. Well, let's go on and let's go on. It's going to be an interesting session. So we'll start with introduction. What exactly is negotiation? So we'll look at the definition of negotiation. There's a 4-step negotiation framework. It's like a secret that we learned today. And then we'll look at the importance of negotiation and an overview of negotiation. So welcome to class. Let's do this. So negotiation is actually a strategic process of when two or more people agree, or teams agree, or group or organizations. So during the negotiation process, three things actually happen. Three things happen. One, an issue is being addressed. Secondly, a problem is being solved. And then, a good evening, okay. Okay, let's put our names. Jennifer. Okay, good. Okay, so during the negotiation, usually three things always occur. One, an issue is being addressed. What are we negotiating for? What's the issue? Secondly, a problem is to be solved. So the parties in the negotiation are to solve the problem. And there's a conclusion. Hopefully, because for it to be an effective negotiation, we hope both parties are getting home with exactly what they want. So we're saying that at the end of the day, we would love to go home with what we came to the negotiation to achieve. So these three things must be there for a successful negotiation to occur. One, there's an issue that is being addressed, the problem to be solved by all the parties, and an effective agreement where every party gets exactly what they want in the negotiation. So we now look at, there's another book, according to Getting to Yes. Getting to Yes is another famous book on negotiation, written by two Harvard professors, William Ury and Roger Fisher. And in their book, they said, negotiation isn't about splitting things 50-50. You know, some of us at the beginning, my early years in my career, I believed, until I got to know more, really, I believed that negotiation was about 50-50. Everybody getting 50. But he's saying it's not about splitting things 50-50 or insisting or your way or me insisting on my own way. It's not about winning or losing. In a negotiation, actually, if you're asking about who won or who lost, you've already lost it. So let me explain with some examples. So two students are arguing in a library, and one wants the window open for fresh air. Another one has papers on the table, so he doesn't want the window open to avoid the wind blowing the papers he has on the table. So if you're the librarian, what will you do? So will you leave the window half open, a little open, or close it? So luckily, the librarian in this story has the wisdom of Solomon, actually. So he listens to both of them and then goes to open a window in another room close to where they are. So bringing in fresh air without disturbing the papers. So this is win-win. This leaves both sides happy. So it wasn't about 50-50. It was about listening to what they both wanted and thinking outside the box to give a solution where each party's interest was actually being captured. So that was what he did. So negotiation is always about human interactions. So, and as a HR professional, the problem you always try to solve as a negotiator is what was that problem? How do you address the tension between management that employed you and believes that HR should present their interests and viewpoints, and the employees who you helped management employ, who also believe that HR should advocate for them? So ideally, as a HR professional, you're not going to pick any side. So you're going to stand outside this conflict, because as a negotiator, you're always looking out for the best interests of both parties. So you are going to, since you're looking out for the best interests of both parties, you will stand, you're in the middle, and your back is like a balancing act. So let's go. So how do you know what your clients want? So that when you're negotiating for something, it will not be outside the interest of what your clients actually, what their interest is. So you need to negotiate from a place of information. You need to actually know what your clients want. There has to be a way you can get that information across, so that when you're entering that meeting, you are asking for exactly what your clients want. So a place of information, a place of cooperation, a place of collaboration. You're going to the meeting table, having the idea that this is win-win. We hope that at the end of this day, both parties will leave this table comfortable. You're being aware of the different concerns of both sides. Being a HR professional, most times there's so much sensitive information about both the management and the employees that is at you have it. And you're going to manage this in such a way that the organization thrives. You're not going to use it to do the wrong thing. So you're aware of the different concerns of both sides, and the strategy that management wants to achieve, you already know. At the end of the session, end of the year, at the end of the quarter, they've already said this is where we are going to. And then you're going to use performance management tools to aid the staff to achieve this strategy the management wants. And when they achieve this, of course, compensation comes to them, profit share, a lot of things, it's like you do this, you get this. And it's a win-win for both sides, if possible. If possible, really, it's a win-win for both sides. So in most organizations, at times we don't realize this. Every job actually defaults to a sales job. We are all marketers, I know in the financial sector it's clear. There's no back office. Everybody is made to understand that you must sell the brand, any role you have. So as a HR professional, when you're negotiating with your candidates, for example, you're actually selling your company. You're selling your environment. You're selling the culture of your organization. And you're selling your compensation and benefits to them. That's why at times, at the end of a candidate's interview session, you make an offer, the candidate says, so sorry, I'll pass. We will see the reasons why that can happen. So, but when you've sold well all these indices, you get a yes, I'll be happy to join the team. So it depends on how the selling was done by you. So how do you engage people in such a way as to achieve? So going forward, we're now looking, how do you engage with other people in such a way that you will achieve better understanding and better agreements? You go into a meeting, at the end of the meeting, everybody is walking away happy. It's not a fight. An agreement that makes all the parties happy and comfortable. Also, we'll talk about how you might do your negotiations differently going forward to give you a higher chance of success. I'm going to look at that. So negotiation is actually an ideal skill for every person in an organization to have. It's actually, even in personal life, it's a very ideal skill that we all should have. As constantly, both at home or the workplace, you find a lot of negotiations happening. Like I had this session this evening. My son had both his iPad, both his phone, both his laptop. I had to say, bros, please, could you just go downstairs and watch TV or something? I don't want any issue with my network. I want to take this class. It's a serious class, So you negotiate for compensation and benefits. When you want to engage the management, like what is happening now, there's high cost of transportation, things are changing, the high cost of living. So that is part of what you do. Benefits, you're engaging them. Even when staff that have been promoted, at the end of the year, the management has a budget. They have an idea of, yes, when people are promoted, salaries change, costs change. So they're taking into account exactly how much they want to spend in that. And then money, HR, you're saying, yes, we have a budget. And then you're going to work with that budget. A lot of staff might be due, they actually should promote everybody, right? But that's why calibration comes in. Because you have prior knowledge that there is a budget in place. So if you promote everybody that is due for that promotion, the budget might not cover it. So these are the balancing acts you do a lot as a HR professional. So staffing, you need more staff, or so you're the one that's going to make the case to management. This department needs, this is what they're doing now, because really, for production to be effective, we need more hands. And when you make that case and says what will come to them, because it's not just employing people and paying salaries to them. If bringing on some skills on board, we bring more revenue, more profit, of course, management will say, go ahead. So also we'll have severance packages. This is where a lot of HR professionals at times make a mistake. Nobody wants to just waste money. When you're dealing with retrenchment, when there is reason to go low on staffing, just collapse some rules, is where we have to, I always say, what is the president of the company? Most companies have a culture. Is it 2 years package? What is it? So when you go for that negotiation meeting, you're going with facts and figures. What is regulation? What the industry average? What are others doing? These are all things we take into consideration so that we are being fair to both parties. It doesn't help if at the end of the day, the staff that have been trying to take the organization to court, we're the one in the middle. So if you do it right, it ends well. So you just negotiate when you want to secure resources for yourself and your teams, etc. A lot of times, all we do, most of the day, everybody actually, we all need to know how to negotiate very, very well. So negotiation is key in your job and in the job of most people in the organization, because you need to know what your clients want. Usually, as we use data, you use surveys, you can give your staff survey, you use information you gather about your organization, you need to consider the current needs of the staff, and the strategy the management organization also wants to achieve. So all this is what you type in when you want to do a negotiation on behalf of the staff. So in defining negotiation, we are looking at the mindset that you need for every negotiation you go for. So to achieve an agreement that is mutually beneficial for all the parties. So if you go into a negotiation with the wrong mindset, with the feet, how we used to do it in those days. It's like whatever, it's either me or it's not. So when you go with the feet up ready for a fight, you might not be successful. You know why? You know why you will not be successful? You will not be successful because actually negotiation is more about, it's not about dominating or getting your way. It's about crafting a relationship. Relationships thrive when you find ways to give and take. So if you are even in a marriage, one person cannot be given, another person will be taken. So there's always that in any relationship there must be give and take. It's not always one person give, one person taking. No. So when we practice the win-win approach, which leaves all parties happy with the agreement, to achieve the win-win approach negotiation, you must also be well prepared. You must be well prepared for you to achieve what will make everybody happy in the negotiation. So for effective negotiation to happen, you require some basic skills. Active listening. I'm in class, I'm talking to you. I'm the facilitator for this class this evening. My whole attention is on this. I'm here, present. I'm not playing with my phone, I'm not looking at my iPad, I'm not taking messages. All my other devices are totally down. So you're in negotiation, your whole focus. I personally love negotiations where either physical or at least video calls. So I'm seeing because their body now says somebody's telling you, yes, I'm doing this. Yeah, of course, the person doesn't mean yes. So you want to listen. You might listen and get one or two things that will help, break the tie. You need to have empathy. You need to walk in the other person's shoes. What do they want? Why do they want that? You need to have that empathy. Go the extra mile to walk in the shoe of the person you're negotiating with. You need to have a problem-solving mindset. A mindset that says, look at what the librarian did in that first example we gave at the beginning of the class. Two people are almost fighting. One guy, the person says, I need fresh air in this library. The other guy says, if you open the window, my papers on the table will fly away. And the librarian listens to both of them and opens the window in another room close by. The air gets into the room and the papers will not fly because it's not directly on the papers. So you need to have that thinking cap that can think outside the box. You need to have the ability to persuade. I once had a boss, my MD, he say if you give him superior argument, he believes that the decisions are based on information you have available. So if you give him superior argument, no deal, he will say it's okay, can go with that. So you must have the ability, and persuasion works when you have data. It's not just when you just have know how to talk sweetly. No, when you have data that backs the argument or what you're saying, people can see exactly what they should see, and you must have the ability to manage emotions and conflicts. Some negotiations actually get stormy. Yeah. At times you have to pause, you have to, okay, let's so you're able to manage conflict, emotions and conflicts. That is not personal. Each party has a reason why they're there. So it's not personal. So just must manage it. So negotiation is about finding that smart and practical solution that will make all the parties happy without hurting the relationship. It's about relationship. It's win-win. So how do you find that wise and practical solution that will bring about a win-win result for all the parties? How do you find that? There's actually a secret 4-step negotiation framework. Since I started using this framework, it's totally changed the dynamics of any negotiation I go in for. It will give you it will make an effective negotiator. Each time you remember that this 4 step is like it's a tip. Each time you apply it, it makes it as if it's like 1 + 1 = 2. It makes things easier. 4, 1, focus on interests, not positions. 2, use fair standards. 3, invent options. 4, separate people from the problem. I will explain more. So the first one we're looking at is focus on interests, not positions. Remember that story about the 2 men arguing in the library? It illustrates a common problem in every negotiation. Most people focus too much on their positions. I don't want a paper on the table flying away, forgetting that your neighbor is hot. The neighbor is, I want the window, I need fresh air. Forgetting that the window being open will throw the papers out. So proactively, shift your focus to benefits for both parties. How can we both, remember the quote at the beginning? The quote at the beginning said something, let me take us back there. The quote said that negotiation is what? It's about getting what you want. It's not about getting what you want. It's about getting what you need while you getting what you need, while also making sure the other party gets what they need. So for it to be effective, you're getting what you need. Your other party, you have to put your thinking cap. How can the other party also get what he needs when I get what I need? So interest might be hidden or not too clear. So you need to ask the other party, what is it that you want, really? What do you want? Try to see things from their point of view. Also communicate your own interest to them too. Communicate what you want to them too. And then strive to turn both parties' interest into real win-win option if possible. I know at times it might not work, that both parties need to make some concessions to still see how they shift positions. We do it every day. You go to the market, you want to buy it, the seller is selling that they bought this thing, they didn't buy it at that price. So by the time you guys keep shifting, we come to a mutually agreeable price that both parties are willing to pay, is willing to sell. So that's the way it goes. So conflicts can use fair standards. That's the second tip. The first one we said that you should do what? Focus on interest, not positions. It's very important. Then use fair standards. Conflicts can arise during negotiations. So use objective criteria. What is objective criteria? These are standards that are quantifiable, clear, and can be verified independently. You are discussing with management. You want to increase salaries and they're saying no. And you bring the industry standard and you bring what the same companies, organizations that are like yours, what they are paying. You have the facts. You're not manufacturing figures. Then you bring what the staff are doing. You bring exactly the income, revenue, profit the company has been making. So you're demanding, you're negotiating from the position of strength. You're not asking for what is out of it. You're saying, this is how it is now, sir. If we don't do this, others will be grabbing our team. We've trained this one for so long that we must make sure we are at par, at least within a range, so that we don't just, it's important. So these are unbiased rules that don't depend on personal opinions. This can be fair standards in the industry, legal and regulatory requirements, market prices, precedent. When people were sacked the last time, what were they giving? What is the culture? Maybe we normally give them 2 years severance, we give 3, we give 1. There is a precedent. We can have facts to show. It didn't just wake up as well and pay them this. No, this is how we've been doing it. We can improve on it, but at least this is the base of what we've been doing. Expert opinion in the industry if need be. That is where you are not just going because of your feelings or emotions, you're using facts to back up the arguments you have. These are quantifiable standards or regulations in the industry that all the parties in negotiation are or should be aware of. And this can shift the focus from what you both want to what the rule or regulation says. I remember an organization where the HR said at the beginning when pension, pension is statutory, it's not, there's no discussion. So the management, they were having, a friend shared this with me, they were having issues, and they said, this is not about whether we want to do this or not. The contributory pension scheme it's statutory. Because the former HR, whether the person, I don't know what the issue was. So this HR manager said, no, we need to do this so that we don't get into trouble with regulation. And that settled it. Everybody could say exactly why it must and should be done. And they said doing it right. So when you use fair standards, it can actually turn a clash of interest into a shared goal for all the parties. So invent options. We said 2 now. We said 1. What did you say 1 was? We said 1, you should focus on interest, not positions. It's not about my position, it's about the interest of the both parties. We say you should look at what is the standard. Be fair, be objective. It's not about how you feel. We said you should also invent options creatively. A negotiation strategy involves creating solutions that benefit all the parties in a negotiation. It's a more mature approach to negotiation. You are looking at options for all the parties. It usually helps create a win-win situation outcome in a negotiation. Let me give you an example. Usually, as HR, there's this thing that we might do unconsciously. When we are interviewing certain staff, we already have the band, we already have a salary band. And then you ask somebody, because at times it depends on where the person is coming from, or if the person has not done their research well about you. You may ask someone, what is your expectation? And the person says something lower than what that band is. In very mature organizations, at least where I had worked, they will still offer you what that band gives. Because you see, I knew someone that made, let's say, mistake. It couldn't have been a mistake. She, based on where she was coming from, she didn't know that this was the band. So she took something that was lower. And in that particular organization, it's what you negotiate that you get. So that's what she negotiated. So by the time she came on board, of course, these things are not, we know. And for that, her colleagues, we are not, and she was a highly, somebody that was good, really, really, because I was where she came to. So she was explaining to me why she wasn't there for up to 3 months. She started looking for a job. And you know a secret, it's easier to get a job when you're working. So you devalue the person. It's not as if it's a devaluation. The person didn't know. But you being HR, you know, I said from the beginning that HR, you're privy to sensitive information about management and staff. So always when you're at that table, try to be fair. Because by the time the person comes on board and finds that, I was shortchanged, it does something. You lose a motivated, highly excited staff that would have given you the best. And from day one, the person wants to jump ship. And let's try not to have that in place. So we should always think about win-win. The win-win situation outcome in every negotiation. So it's a more mature approach to negotiation where you are looking at what are the options I can look at. Well, we've come to a time, maybe, can we look outside the box? Can we create more options? So create solutions for mutual gain and start the negotiation by brainstorming about all the possible solutions with all the parties. So allow the different ideas to flow freely. So at the beginning, don't let people talk. Just open the floor. This is your interest. This is what I want. So fine. So we start looking at ways we can come into a mutual agreement. And don't judge. Don't pick any ideas at this initial stage. Just let people freely talk. It helps. So invent options. Review on the most promising ideas. Just look at them and then discuss ways to improve on them. Discuss ways. How can we make this better? How can we, people often assume differences in negotiation create problems. For me, these differences can lead to innovative solutions and agreements. I've been in negotiations where it was like, so we'll take a break, everybody, we came back, and before you knew, the answers were there. Because everybody was thinking, once you have that win-win, thinking, how can they get what they need while I get what I need? It changes the dynamics, honestly, of every negotiation. Because most of the time, it's more like it's either me or you. It shouldn't always be like that. It shouldn't even be like that at all. So before you start any negotiation, separate people from the problems, like a line, a vertical line down the middle. Put the problem one side, the person one side. On one side is the person, the other side is the problem. So we're saying, so don't be emotional, just look at it. This is the staff asking for this, and this is the issue. The economy is, the salary is not taking them home, right? And these are the people. So you separated the issues. So persons are considered first and the problems second. Negotiators are also people too. Because if you negotiate wrongly for others, one day it might be your turn. And that thing that you agreed might affect you. Would you, all the agreements you have made on behalf of staff as HR, always remember that one day it might used to apply to you. So always think win-win, honestly. That's the best way to go about it. So negotiation plays a very important role in all aspects of our work life and business due to its importance and benefits. Imagine there's serious conflicts between management and staff. People are, labor has come, many things are happening. This negotiation helps you resolve these conflicts and differences between the parties in a peaceful and productive manner because you allow all the parties to air their expectations. And you now being the mediator in the middle, remember I said you are privy to a lot of information about both, and you can use that maturely to make the organization better for everybody. So the process of negotiation, we want to achieve win-win outcomes. So effective negotiation will allow the parties to find win-win because we are both coming, I know I need something, I know the other person needs something, and we want to, I keep emphasizing on this. We must stop the normal way. Go to negotiation, and by either you or me, one person must win. It's not a war. Nobody should win or lose. So we should look at mutually beneficial solutions, agreements that can be implemented for mutual gain of all the parties. That's what we should be looking at. So negotiation maximizes value. It enables all the parties to explore all the options and possible alternatives that will help the parties achieve a win-win outcome. So it's very, very simple. If you come to the table, what is bringing me is collaboration. I'm thinking, this is what I need. And remember, he said, getting what I need, while the other part also gets what they need. So that makes it easy. So we are putting thinking cap, we must both succeed. So it saves time and resources. Effective negotiation can prevent costly lawsuits. I said, especially when we are doing severance packages, staff are being let off. And we need to make sure we don't just hit them or hit them below the belt. Something very strange happened in the organization. The regional manager told me this story. She said she was called to counsel staff that were being sacked that day. They sent her a list of people, they sent people to her office, there was a meeting, and she gets the letter. She opens the letter. If the staff were 40, her name was number 40. So HR, let's negotiate well. This is not the right way to negotiate severance. Even if you knew that the regional manager should go with them, why not let her finish counseling and these people go? Maybe you drop her own the next day or so. I know at least it's a time bound, but we can also start earlier to get this done right. So when you do it well, it reduces costly lawsuits between the parties. It saves time and confusion. It also reduces stress. So the stress of, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. When you know the staff should be terminated, there's actually, I know that there's a book by Jack Welch. Everybody, yeah, it's already reading by Jack Welch. Please go ahead. As HR professionals, there are some people that you should let go to go and face their destiny. When it's brought to you, at times we're like, no. It's not about it shouldn't be me. Some people actually are not fit. Mistakes happen during when people are being employed. Mistakes could happen. So when you notice it and you've tried everything, at times it's just okay. Like when she's saying that there are some people that are actually causing more problems being the organization than when they're advocates. So the causing lawsuit that could arise because we didn't manage the process of retrenchment well wouldn't happen if we do the right thing. If we had done the win-win thinking cap at the point where engaging money, these people have to go, yes. And we need to do it this way, that they go happy. Just like they came in happy, that they go happy. Very key. Because you see in the industrial court, most of the time that court always gets on the side of the employees. So it's as if we just need to put that thinking cap. What is the precedent? What can we do better? What is the industry have? What are others doing? That we don't go and do what will cause problem for our organization. We're in court for years, spending money that we don't even have to waste. So it saves time and confusion and also reduces stress for you. Going to be giving evidence and it's not one of those things that you will love to do. So it improves communication. So when you're negotiating, effective negotiation promotes active listening. You need to be there. You cannot be negotiating on your phone, or your iPad, no. Or you are carried away with the room, carried away with the environment. No, you need to be there, active listening. They can pick. And some people say some things behind what they're saying. Somebody is saying something, you need to pronounce it. There should be clarity. So effective communication in negotiation makes each party understand exactly what the other party wants. So it's important. So who are the parties involved in the negotiation? We have two or more individuals, group organizations, having different aims, interests, and goals. So we have underlying needs, we have desires, concern that drive each party's position. Those things are there. Then we have positions. What do I want? What do you want? What's initial? As we progress, what we want and what we need. Concessions, we need to bring it to the position where both parties are win. Yeah, exactly. Communication, verbal, non-verbal. We need to, watch different ideas. Most times, that's why I said personally, I love physical or video when I'm negotiating. I want to see you. I want to see what they say to me. I don't just want to go over the phone. I want to, it's important so that you can pick. In bargaining, it's the process of exchanging concessions and reaching a compromise. So just like what we did in the market, we did the same thing in the office. You make your offer, counter, we're both working towards, he wants this, I want this. How can we both get what we want? Agreement is a mutually acceptable outcome or resolution for all the parties. So, look at some negotiation. Be prepared. So don't rely on your intuition. First, do your research. What are you asking for? Is it realistic? What do you hope to achieve at the end of this session? Assess what happens to you. You already know what happens to you, there's no deal. Focus on what happens to the other party, there's no deal. So what do you want? What will make the other party walk away from the table? What will make you walk away from the negotiation? This is the things, best partner is best alternative to a negotiated agreement. I come to you, you employ me, you're asking me for an interview. The person is already working somewhere. Even if you don't employ him, he has his job to fall back on. So it's different from somebody I think that doesn't have a job that is desperate for this job. So as I said, just let's always be fair. Let's assess exactly what we should. Negotiate the process before substance. There's a small story. What's a successful agreement between both parties? And does the other party have the power to give you what you have both agreed to? So imagine being told at the end of a long negotiation process that they will need to talk to their boss. So confirm their process before the negotiation starts. I will tell you guys a small story. When Obiano was the governor of Anambra State, that's when I was governing the Southeast, and he called all the regional managers to a meeting. And he called meeting of all the banks. We got to the meeting, said, are you an ED? Are you an MD? Are you an ED? Of course, no ED or MD came, and he's called up the meeting. Being a banker, he knew that if he wanted yes or no, either the MDs or ED to be in that meeting, because all of us as regional managers, we need to talk to our bosses. And it's honestly like, this guy is proud, but I knew. Since I was already a certified negotiation trainer, so I was smiling. I knew him, he also knew how to negotiate, because like he didn't want to waste time with us. I will have to go and report our bosses. So he said, bring the bosses. And they came, they came, yeah. So there's no need to say, we'll talk to our boss. So always confirm what is the process before negotiation starts. It's very important. Find out the range of what is possible. Look at industry reports. So you're going to a meeting, ask the right questions. What are the things they can and what they cannot do? Are they thinking long term or short term? It's always better to negotiate in the future with a learning mindset. So proactively think of all the things that can come up during the negotiation. So no, if I go for any negotiation, what if they say, just like I'm in this class now, I have explained that at the end of the session, some questions will come. What if they ask this? So that's how it's negotiation. So you try to have possible answers to the question they'll ask you. Secondly, mentally prepare for any negotiation. It's good to don't go hungry, don't go tired, don't go where you have not slept. So there's actual power in being the first party to set the opening during the negotiation. Never let the offer speak for itself. You're telling a story. You want to increase salary for staff. I tell the story of what is happening in the economy now. I tell the story of how a lot of devaluation has caused the naira to lose its value. At least tell the story behind the offer. That helps. So ensure all concessions agreed during the negotiation are understood by all the parties and they'll sign off. So let's not say somebody say he didn't understand it. At the end, it was signed. So negotiating multiple interests also helps. You're doing a whole total package for staff, the housing, you do housing today. Tomorrow you say, oh, I forgot. No. Do all the offers. The package will come once so that when you are done, the compensation plan is clear for all to see and once the approval is done. So if the offer is not acceptable, diplomatically, I remember I say it's not a fight. We're both thinking win-win. Diplomatically, waste no time in conveying this. Don't too often you are not prepared to respond. You are like, what's this say? So ridiculous offers can come up. Yeah, maybe. Remember when Lebron said a minimum wage should be 1 million? Because we're like, so when they move for that 1 million to 70,000, we're like, what the heck? So this will come up. So I'm sure this on the government side. I said it's a ridiculous offer. What this guy is doing, but that is how this things happen. To do the negotiation, the sooner you know what they want, the faster you can come to agreements, and you will know exactly what they will agree to. So there's no guessing. Ask outright and make sure you know exactly how you can get it done. Write their victory speech for them. This is important. When you're thinking win-win, the other party is going to go back to work, going back to their bosses, to their colleagues to say this is what we came back with. It's not about you. So think of what they're going to go back and so it's called so in a difficult negotiation, ask yourself how they can say yes. What is that thing that they will go back and tell and then whoa, it's a win-win. It's not about you telling your bosses you won. Nobody won. Both of us must win. So think of that. Write their victory speech for them. How can they walk home happy? I also walk home happy. So it's very important. So they still go back and tell good story about what happened. Ignore ultimatums. So finally, only make it if you want to follow through. So at times, someone will say they will stop, they walk away. Sometimes they're just trying to get some tactical advantage, it's important. No deal. Don't end any negotiation with a no. End with a yes or why not. Are you getting? Because it's never can still continue tomorrow. End with a yes or why not? Why not we did this way, that way? Follow up with phone calls and meeting emails is ready to confirm and reframe the agreements of the meetings. Always tell the truth, right? I don't even say any reasons for any lie, normally anything. If you're honest during any negotiation, it brings trust and confidence. It shows when you are being honest, it shows. So, and it helps ensure a quick win-win agreement between both parties. So, how do we understand negotiation? Understanding negotiation is a process in life, in the office. We do this all the time. There are different types of negotiation, two main types: distributive negotiation and integrative negotiation. I have some key concepts we also look at, so let's go on. So what is distributive negotiation? It's a type of negotiation where one party tries to get as much as possible of a fixed resource during a negotiation, while the other party tries to give up as little as possible. Have you ever seen somebody who wants to sell it? It's like it's not a car seller. When he needs to sell his car to raise money for an emergency, the guy will do anything to see whether he can squeeze much from the buyer. And the buyer, of course, if you have money now, you go and buy a brand new car, be of ready to cook. So the buyer too doesn't have as much. So it's always, that's called it's called win-lose. So it's the one person is always, each party is trying to get the best out of the other party, not thinking win-win. It's always that bad. The resource is fixed. For example, the guy is not a card, just has that one, the example we gave. It's competitive. Both parties is how I can persuade, how we can drag it, one person has to lose. But really, it shouldn't be like that. So it's short term. Both parties are not thinking that they will meet again or they will discuss again. So they just have a goal of today, I will buy or I will not. So to end now. And there's lack of trust also. The person selling is like, this guy is supposed to, is worth more. But because I'm under pressure, that guy wants to cheat me. This has happened. So normally it also happens in labor migrant negotiations. Union wants to represent the staff, wants to get the best deal. And management, and they, just like what I said about minimum wage. Imagine the first thing they said was 1 million naira minimum. And we all laughed. Management on their own wants to minimize costs. How will they private pay 1 million per worker? It can't work. Business to business sales. Companies also try to negotiate prices and terms. They also try to get the best for the organization. So some people have, I believe you, people thought the negotiation was about me winning, you losing. That was this distributive was how it used to be until we got better to realize that we achieve more by making it everybody gets what they want. Have integrative negotiation. In this strategy, we both seek to find a mutually beneficial solution. So each party is looking at what's the best interest of the other party. We're looking at the relationship, we're looking at trust, open communication. Is both want to achieve win-win. It's effective where long-term relationship is important. Imagine you are retiring your old staff, so you want to do a good package for them. There's long-term relationship. You're dealing with clients that you dealt with for years, so both parties trust. You know your history. You both be open with each other. So creative solutions are needed. You think outside the box. What can we do? How can we do it? Trust and credibility are essential. Multiple interests and needs must be balanced. So conflict solution is also, so all this you are thinking, how can we both win? So it's integrative. That's the best way to negotiate actually. So during negotiation, by using integrative negotiation, all the parties work together to find that solution that will make every party comfortable, making the relationship stronger. Because when we do win-win, when we are thinking of give, we are not thinking opposite, give opposite takes, it's a healthier negotiation. What we call BATNA. BATNA is best alternative to a negotiated agreement. So if I don't get this agreement, this is what I have. This is my alternative. I have this alternative. you don't get this, you already have this job. You're dealing with management. If they don't approve, management has agreed to approve 20% of the whole offer, the compensation they've agreed, and you're asking, they've already approved 20, and you're asking for 50. So even if the 50 doesn't work, you have that 20 agreement you're holding. So those are the things that helps you. So if negotiations fail or don't reach a mutually beneficial agreement, you already have this. This is what you have. So it serves as a benchmark. So you already have this. So it gives you that, if I miss that, I already have this. It's a safety net. So you have this option to fall back on. If knowing your partner also gives you confidence and advantage in negotiations. You know the worst that can happen, so you're confident. It helps you identify the bottom line and limits in negotiation. So I can walk away because I have this alternative, or so you know the worst that can happen, you know. Having a strong partner, I repeat that what is partner, I said best alternative to a negotiated agreement. A strong word improve negotiation outcome. You're not desperate. You have confidence, you have an advantage. You're not going to accept any equal agreement, and it enhances your ability to walk away if necessary. It's actually not about having an alternative. It's about being willing and able to pursue it. Because that's we see what happens in the market now. The seller gives price and you're like, you're moving. They don't call you back. That is how it has gotten. So he's not going to sell below his cost price now. So until you come and price what is reasonable, he'll just let you work in one line before when they say, come now. We have ZOPA, zone or possible agreement. This is where both parties' interests are met in the negotiation. Both parties are willing to make concessions, and a mutually beneficial agreement is now possible. So call it zone of possible agreement. In this zone, there's collaborative problem solving for all the parties. It also fosters creative solutions and trade-offs, and enhances relationship building and trust. So we are looking at both parties. This is where both our needs are met. So note that finding the zone of possible agreement, it requires open communication. If we're open with each other, it's easier for us to. I've told you what I want, you've told me what you need, so we're open. And it needs active listening. I keep repeating, you must focus. You cannot go into a negotiation distracted or hungry, or you must be fully with your research ready, and a willingness to explore options by all the parties. And also willingness to make concession by all the parties. So it's each person must shift a little now, so I can meet each other halfway. Reservation point. The minimum outcome a party is willing to accept in a negotiation. So we call the walkaway point of the party in the negotiation. So they rather end it. So how do you know the reservation points? Minimum acceptable outcome. I'm not going to come to you, you're putting a staff for a job and you're offering him a level and the package below what he's getting where he is. Unless where he is about to collapse, he will not come. So it's the point of indifference. There's no gain, there's no loss to him, so he can just walk away. That's what we call the walk away threshold. It's actually an alternative to a negotiated agreement in action. The person knows the worst that can happen to him. Already has a good job. So what are we discussing? So, you already have this offer. So we need to know that it helps you negotiate more effectively and avoid making concessions too quickly. The point is that this is the minimum. No staff. I've seen staff take lower levels, but I haven't seen take lower money, unless maybe where they're coming from, they're jumping. They can take lower levels. Somebody can be a manager somewhere and take DM here, no problem, but they will not take less the money. They have not seen that. Maybe you guys have seen, I've not seen. You have to stay focused on your goals and interests and make informed decisions about whether to accept an offer or just walk away. So how do you know your reservation points? You have to check your best alternative to the negotiated agreement. Assess what you actually, if for example, where you're working is about to close up, you have privileged information, you might just take it. But if not, you will not. So consider the worst case scenario of the negotiation. What's the worst that can happen? And put a specific measurable point in there. Well, this is it. I can't go below this. Like all of us eat in the market every time. What is in our own case for women? You go to a shop, what is in your bag? I always ask, you're selling this, I'm offering this. I can't offer what I don't have. So that's just the simplest way to say that. So how do you go for a negotiation? You set objectives and goals. The research and information gathering, bargaining and trade-offs. These are the three things you do when you prepare for a negotiation. So identify what your interest is. We're going to do a negotiation with another organization. We're going with management. We're going with our staff. Always ask, what are your needs? What are the interests? What are the desires and concerns you have? What's the ideal outcome? What do you want to achieve? What is the goal? At the end of this negotiation, this is the need I want to have achieved. And is my target realistic? The outcome I'm asking for, is it realistic? The outcome they're asking for, is it realistic? And is it a do or die outcome? Am I saying it's either me or you? No. So we need to know this. But that's your objective. So rank your goals. At times it's not just one thing you want to achieve. Rank it in order of importance. For example, they might, if you say salary compensation, the package you're looking at, they might say drop this here, add this here. So let's rank. If push comes to shove, this is what must happen. This is ahead. Just put it that way. And make your objectives smart. Set clear objectives and goals that you're better equipped to navigate in this negotiation and achieve the favorable outcome. Don't go and do like Lebron, ask for 1 million for basic for as can you just what I heard? I was like minimum wage, the most minimum is this. No, just go be smart. Go in with your figures and your data. So when you're asking, the other party will know that you're prepared. It helps. The additional tips here. Be flexible. You can't go into a negotiation with the mindset of I win or you will lose. No, be flexible and open to creative options and trade-offs. If we come to a tie, what can we do? Consider the other party's perspective. What are his limitations? What are the goals he wants to hold? Look at your negotiation strategy. Have a plan of approach. How do I open my moves? What are the concessions I can use? What are the tactics? At times you just relax, at times you open to us, just because you would have studied the other thing. We see that a lot in football. You see, by halftime, the coach would have seen this person is playing this way, and then you want to change. Because if you want to win, you must constantly. But in football, is the other time, that one is one person was always win, but here I was saying win. So we must have a tactics considering the other person's needs also. Let's not be thinking about us all the time. Prepare alternatives. Identify potential alternatives if it doesn't meet your objective. What else can happen? So you research, we understand what the other party's interest is and make informed decisions and tactics about it. So we need to develop effective negotiation strategies and tactics. Well, entering the negotiation with knowledge about the other party, what they want, and we know what we want, and how can we achieve a win for both parties. So active listening. Ask open-ended questions. Don't ask questions that will say no or yes. So how, why, what, such questions, starting with that. So get the other party to talk. Seek mutually beneficial options for all the parties. Review all the documents and data you have available to enter the meeting. And consult with experts and advisors if need be. Especially you want to buy, maybe you want to buy another organization or things like that. I think there are things behind you see, you're looking at their financials or not, something is just not gelling. You can't consult. There's totally wrong with that. So you don't make a mistake. So in bargaining and trade-offs, you need to make concessions strategically. We're getting to a point where we are discussing. So we use value creating strategies. So let's look for ways to expand the pie and create value for both parties. Instead of looking at this pie is small, then how do we expand it? So if the staff, I was being a simple example. I was being interviewed for a role as an MD, my first role then. And I said, fine, I'm going to do this, this is a profit target, no problem. But part of this profit we hope to get, I want a share of that. So I can enter this organization, telling the staff, if you make this, I will get this. And it worked. But whether we like it or not, cash continues to be a motivator on this side of the world. Yeah. Other things also can motivate. Yes, we know the cognition and so on, but this side of the divide increases. So when I said if we do more of this, like this one comes, like everybody was on the clock, and it worked. So we need to look at ways to expand the pie. So if even to say there's no money to increase salary or things like or say things like compensation, you can engage the staff. If we do this and the bottom line is more, well, why not? And everybody's on the same page. So avoid making bilateral concessions. Encourage reciprocity, both parties. I said it's not give and take, it's both of us are thinking ways together to solve this. So it's very important. Summarize agreements. Clearly outline terms agreed to avoid any misunderstanding. So you have to document it, put it in writing to ensure we both understand it's clear. Not that later, I thought we said no. Even now, record it, and it helps actually. So effective communication in negotiation, that's module 5. I know that trying to make sure we get into all that. For at the end of the session, so I can take your questions. We have active listening, verbal and non-verbal communication, and building rapport. This is key. So active listening is actually key, a key component of effective negotiation. So you need to listen, give your undivided attention. I'm talking to you. Focus on the speaker. Avoid distractions like your phone or the surroundings. Use verbal and non-verbal cues. Nod. Make eye contact. This was just like I see, to show that you are engaged with the discussion. Paraphrase and summarize. Repeat what you just heard in your own words, ensuring understanding and clarify any gray points that you don't understand. Ask open-ended questions. Encourage the speaker to share more information with questions that begin with what, how, or why, not questions that you answer yes or no to. Avoid interrupting when they're talking. Listen for underlying interests. Try to understand what the other negotiator actually needs and desires. Some people might not say exactly what they want, so underneath it. So ask clarifying questions. Don't assume that you know what the speaker meant. Ask to clarify. In verbal communication, tone. Speak clearly, speak calmly and confidently. Use simple language that is straightforward, so there's no misunderstanding. Clarity. Enunciate and articulate your points clearly. Don't avoid long sentences. Be brief and to the point. And most importantly, use I. I don't want to say use you, but in speech, I, so that the person, you might sound accusatory, so the person you come across as very active voice, very conciliatory. You're not going into the conversation as a fight. No. Body language, as I told you guys, that I always like for negotiations, I always prefer, if we're not doing it physically, let's do it over video call, whatever, let's see ourselves so we can ensure a positive body language, maintain eye contact. Well, it depends. As a part of the world where eye contact is rude. So most importantly, wherever you are, observe the cultural norms of where you are. So use open and approachable postures and avoid crossing your arms or your legs. Imagine I'm here now. I came to you, say what's happening. So just make sure you're not giving the wrong vibe. Show empathy and interest through your facial cues and pay attention to your tone, pitch, volume, and pace while speaking. Some people don't know that the way we speak, how audible are we? Some people are talking to their mumbling, and you're already put off. So let's be clear, let's pace what we're saying and say in such a way that the other party receives it well. Proximity, respect personal space, and use proximity to build rapport. Use appropriate touch. Especially in a lot of culture, shaking women is not it. So always, as I said, respect the culture of wherever you are. So you can handshake or pass on the back to build trust where it's acceptable. You can use that. So there's a connection when we're talking about building rapport. Except when you meet, say we have connection, we have rapport. A lot of couples will tell you that it was like a perfect time. Normally, what they're saying is that there was bond. They had mutual understanding. They had shared interest. So it was easy for them to just be friends. Just have a relationship. Maybe they met. It happens. So find common ground. This is what helps you to build rapport. Identify what you have in common. Use positive body language. Maintain eye contact, smile, use open and approachable postures, and listen, pay attention. You are with somebody, I find it very, don't be talking to you, touching your phone. The phone is not running away. You could always call somebody back that is calling you, unless it's an emergency. Show interest. Ask questions to show genuine interest in the other party. Show empathy and understanding. Acknowledge what the person is feeling. And use open-ended. I can't say this enough. It helps to build rapport. Be authentic and genuine. Don't copy another person. Be yourself and don't manipulate anyone. Use humor, make fun. You can break the ice and build rapport, but use it right. Don't go and make fun of someone's body type and things like that. And follow up. After negotiation, check in to show you value the relationship. So, module 6, handling challenges in negotiation. How do we handle challenge, because challenges do come, can happen. 3 things here. How do you deal with difficult negotiation tactics? How do you overcome objections in negotiations? What are the strategies for deadlocks in negotiations? So 1, stay calm and composed. When you deal with difficult negotiation tactics, somebody is trying to get you upset. Be calm and composed. Maintain your cool. It's not personal. Even when faced with aggressive or competitional behavior, just because people, that's the way they understand it seems to fight. So don't go to, if somebody's in the ring and you don't enter the ring, there won't be any fight, right? So just be calm and composed. Don't take it personally. Separate the issue from the person and focus on the interest, not positions. Use active listening. Pay attention to the other party's concerns and respond thoughtfully. Avoid getting defensive. What is the issue? What is the position? There's no need to be defensive. We both know what we need. So look for underlying interests. Identify the needs, desires, and fears driving the other party's behavior. There's a reason why the person is behaving this way. Look for that. Look at it. And be willing to walk away. So know your limits and be prepared to walk away if the negotiation becomes too difficult. So you already know what your partner is. You already know the worst that can happen is this. So I can always, the worst is better than this, their best, I can take a walk. So overcoming objections in negotiation, explore creative options. So think outside the box to find a mutually beneficial solution for all the parties. Use time to your advantage. Take time to think before responding to challenging tactics. Seek common ground. Look for areas of agreement and try to find a mutually beneficial solution. It's very key. Be transparent and honest. Then you need to build trust by being open and truthful. And most importantly, be willing to walk away. Know your limits in negotiation and be prepared to walk away if necessary. You can't accept what is more than what you already have. Take a break. If it's getting to, if there's a deadlock, there's a tie, people are not shifting positions and we need to. So step away for the negotiation to calm down and regroup. Let's step away. You take a drink, you just step away, just calm down and think again. You frame the issue, look at it from a different perspective, look at it from their own point of view. Remember, we said you have to write a vision speech for them. So find a new approach. Be transparent. Share your constraints and limitations to build trust. It's important. Make a bold offer. Make a significant concession to break somebody wanted to buy a property for his business, and the man that had the house said, "I'm not selling." The man tripled the cost. The property worth was 30 million. The man said, "Okay, I'll offer you 60." He was that the guy took the offer. He made a bold offer. It was that broke the tie. And the man just took the money, bought the next house from everybody on the street that agreed to sell. And the one that didn't agree to sell was the exact property he needed to place his business at. So at times you just need to think outside the box. How do I break this deadlock? You can walk away. Be willing to walk away if the negotiation does not meet your needs. You can walk away. So how do we create win-win solutions? How do we create? We talk about win-win. Let's collaborate. Let's think of ways both of us are happy. You're happy, I'm happy. So how do we create that kind of position? How do we have collaborative problem solving, maximizing value for both parties, importance of creativity? So these strategies can help you create a win-win solution that threatens relationships, build trust during negotiations, and achieve better agreement outcomes. They do that. So 1, empathy. Acknowledge and respect each other's perspectives. Can you walk in the other person's shoes? Can you try, say you want to achieve your, while also making sure the other party also gets what he needs? Shared goals. Identify common objectives and work together towards objectives. Seek common ground. Focus on shared interests and values of all the parties. Seek common ground. What is the interest? What is the value? What are the values you want to achieve? Collaborative mindset. View the problem as a joint challenge, not a competition. We are working together to achieve a solution where both parties are happy. Explore innovative solutions that benefit all parties. Be flexible. Be willing to compromise. The collaborative problem solving scenario involves a strategic approach that is used to create outcomes where all the parties gain something beneficial. Remember, you're thinking us. We're thinking win-win. We're thinking, so it's not just about one person losing, no. So examples, proactively look for solutions to create value for both parties rather than simply dividing a fixed pie. Collaborative will find opportunity where mutual gains can be achieved. can make perspectives and concerns and ideas about the outcomes. We can do it better this way. We're all thinking. So build relationships. Invest in building positive relationship with the other parties involved. Trust and rapport can help smoothing negotiations and increases the likelihood of finding mutually beneficial outcomes. Seek win-win solutions. Seek win-win. Aim to create solutions where both parties feel they have gained value or achieved objectives for the negotiation. Prioritize each person's need. Let's balance it. Each person has a need. So creativity plays a key role in negotiation as it allows all the parties to explore unconventional solutions to the problems. Think outside the boundary negotiation and seek mutually beneficial outcomes for all the parties. That's the best, honestly. So problem solving. So when negotiations involve complex issues and different interests, thinking creatively, outside the box helps you identify innovative solutions that help address underlying interests of both parties during the negotiation. At the beginning of emailing, I was in a present institution where we had issues. We send mail to staff, they will not respond. I had a staff that will read her mail maybe after a week. You can imagine, this might be issues that need to be attended to. So what did we do? We discussed this and we came up with a read receipt idea. So when you're sending a mail, the mail Outlook has that. I'm sending with a read receipt, I'm sending with delivery receipt. As the mail enters the email box, it sends to me that has been delivered. When you read, I will be told. I will make this part of the KPIs. And that behavior changed. So creatively, just the same way, think of this an issue. How can we both get what we want? Let's think outside the box and we'll address it. So value creation. Creativity can help in expanding the pie. That's why I said, if we increase the profit share, that's why they will say, if you bring in this amount, you get this. So we are throwing it, when you increase the pie, people wake up and start running. So new ideas and possible help negotiators identify opportunities for collaboration. We try again during negotiation. Let's keep thinking. We are bigger together than less. So let's think. How do we break deadlocks? Where parties have reached an impasse, there's a tie. Creativity can actually be the key to break these deadlocks by introducing fresh perspectives or proposing out of the box solutions. Negotiators can actually overcome obstacles and get a resolution. So you have a deadlock and say, well, how do I solve this? Everybody, we must shift. So we should shift. We should, because we've come to the table with a collaborative mindset. Or negotiating thinking win-win. I have some needs, you have some needs, and we are hoping both parties can achieve their needs. So that's a different mindset than me saying I will win, you will lose, or you will. So how do we close the deal? So we've gotten through the whole process of getting to a negotiation, put our interest down, the other party will now mutually agree together that fine, this is going to be good, we're going to do that. So how do we close the deal? So finalize agreement terms, post negotiation strategies, and tips for ongoing improvement. How do we close the deal? So for you to effectively close the deal, confirm mutual understanding. Let's ensure both parties have a clear understanding of the terms and conditions of the agreement at the end of the negotiation. So it involves what? Let's summarize all the key points of the negotiation to confirm. So the issue that I wasn't there, I didn't hear, no, we confirm and it is listed. A legal agreement will be drawn in most cases. Address any remaining concerns. Make sure that address any outstanding concerns or any question that either party might have at the end. But at times there's like some loose ends, so let's address it. So this helps to build trust and prevent misunderstanding later on. So we're all on the same page. It helps. So review terms and conditions. Review this with both parties in the negotiation to ensure that all the aspects of the agreement has been captured in the limited agreement. Document the agreement and get signatures. So the agreement outlining the terms and conditions should be signed by both parties to indicate the acceptance of the terms of the agreement. It could be in writing, it could be a formal contract or just an agreement, whatever it is, we must all sign to say we're part of this, we agree with it. Set a timeline for implementation. So establish a timeline for agreements going into effect. And when each party is expected to fulfill their obligation, it should be stated. This will do implement this way, follow up, ensure the agreement is finalized, After the agreement is finalized, follow up with the other party to ensure that everything is progressing according to the agreed plan. It's important. Celebrate the agreement. Yes, take time to celebrate the success of the outcome. At times, some negotiations are not easy. At the end of the day, each party can take a break and let us have a small celebration. Recognize the hard work and effort that went into a mutually beneficial win-win agreement for both parties. It's very key. What negotiation strategies are crucial to solidifying agreements and maintaining relationships. So ensure that the negotiated terms are effectively implemented and optimized for all as agreed. It's very important. It's very important. So debrief and review. Reflect on the negotiation process. Discuss what worked well. What did we do well? What did we do well? What can we do better? Going forward. So that will help us improve future negotiations. And any lessons we learn for future negotiations will be taken to make it better. Review the outcome. What are the agreed outcome? Was it what we wanted? Did the concession make it still okay for us, or did we, so we need to ask. Assess whether the agreed terms align with your objectives and consider the potential implications to your organization or to your team for the outcome that was agreed. Maintain communication, follow up and stay in touch with the other party to address any questions, concerns, or issues that may arise following the negotiation. This is very key. It's very important. Continuous improvements. You need to use the feedback from the other parties to improve your negotiation skills going forward. And next time, the strategies you will use, so that will help. But they will tell you what worked, what didn't work, what can you do better in. So this the kind of questions to ask. Evaluate the performance. To establish performance metrics, to evaluate the success of the negotiation and the overall outcome of the negotiation. So identify the key takeaway from the negotiation experience to inform future negotiation. You need to look at it, evaluate everything that happened. Was it well balanced? Did we get what we needed? Was it a win-win resolution, or was it so you need to check all that. So in conclusion, we have come here. In conclusion of this class, a successful negotiation actually refers to the resolutions reached by all the parties involved. It includes what? Agreement on terms, conditions of the agreement on terms. What did we agree on? What did we agree? What was our need? What did we end up with? What is the conditions of the agreement? There's something like when they give you a note, they say conditions precedent, conditions subsequent. So did we have that kind of agreement? If you do this, I do that. So you will see it there. Compensation prices could be, there's a new package, you go to the market, so all this has to do that in conclusion. And other matters being negotiated. So in any negotiation, the resolution which will include all this. So the outcome that all the parties have agreed to, that is what will be there. That is what we're looking at. So consequently, the conclusion of a negotiation is where both parties or all the parties have come to an understanding and they've agreed on the outcomes or terms of the resolution. And they've also agreed to implement the resolution of what they have signed up. So not only have we agreed, not only have we signed up, we are fine, we are going to implement. It's a done deal, it's covered. So one of the best ways as an HR professional, one of the best ways to prevent problems in your organization is by building a relationship with all the parties. It's good to have a relationship, be proactive and have a relationship with your team, whether they call staff, whether they outsource, whether the management, have a good relationship with different team members. So studies show that getting to know the other sides increase the success rate by 25 to 30% because they know you, they trust you. Arrive early to chat and leave later, especially if it's for external negotiations. Most importantly, building relationships across the organization at different levels, understanding people, being very authentic, and making yourself visible as an HR professional is very key. When you are able to help others, it makes implementation. So when you need to implement, people know you, people trust you. So this is what we have to do, they just run with it. So that relationship across the organization at different levels is very, very key for a HR professional. So you need to make people know, understand, you get to know them also. Be authentic, be real, be honest. Make yourself visible by being available to help others. This makes any implementation of agreements, especially within the organization, very easy. After a negotiation, it makes it easy when you need to implement because you've already built credibility and trust within that organization. So it's very, very, if you don't have that where you are, please start today. Because when people know you, when they will trust you, it's when you say we're going this way, they just understand and they believe that this HR manager has always had interest of good management and staff at heart. We love the way most negotiations are. Each party wins, and so we're going to run with this. So they won't even have much to say no to because they already know. So as you grow within the organization, always look at what works. Always look at what doesn't work. You know, at the beginning, you might not know much. If you're a new HR officer, you might not really know much about negotiation. I always say, watch those that do well in the organization. Apart from going for courses and reading about it, watch. Most times, I loved the way I had a boss that was perfect. So from that boss, and I started watching her the way she did, and I started reading more about it, going for courses. You know, I wanted to be like her or better. You know, that's how you start. If you have anybody in your organization that is that good, you know, watch the person, watch how it is done, watch. And most people that are very good have that win-win mindset. They already understand that it's about the person's need and my need. We must think of ways to write the business speech for both parties. If the person is going home with something good to say. So look at what works, what doesn't work, and what can be scaled, and the positive effects of this on the organization. And this should guide future negotiations within the organization. Also ensure the negotiation skill is key for every staff in your organization. So know that not all negotiations are equal. Not all negotiations. There are really some sensitive and high-stake negotiations where you need to be really, really prepared and mindful of how you conduct. You have to do your proper research and be mindful of how you conduct yourself. Imagine it's your opinion or your insights that make the negotiation successful. Imagine that. So never fear to share your ideas during such negotiations. Let's continue to use all the skills we have learned today to make future negotiations a success. So thank you. Any questions? So thank you. Any questions? Hello, any questions? So I assume that everything I said has been understood by all, or should I ask my own questions? Hello? Okay, no questions. You guys understood what I said? Okay, no problem. So let me thank you, Oluchi. Thank you, Mercy, Bukola. Thank you, Omonua. Thank you, I saw Oluchukwu. Thank you for attending. It is an honor to take you guys. So thank you. I didn't want to, sorry, I hope I was not too fast. Thank you guys. And I hope you understood that going forward, negotiation is something that is a way you can do it and do it well and achieve whatever you want. Remembering that the other part's needs is also important and should always be considered. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Yes, I will send the lecture slides. You all get it. Yes, you all get it. It's clear, you all get it. So thank you. I'm wishing you guys a great night forward. Thank you.